Welcome back to Bubba Talks Wrestling Podcast. I do apologize. It's been a hot minute since I've done an episode, but like I've said, we're still trying to get settled in, trying to get us a setup actually going. But I do want to try to get out a little bit of wrestling information to you guys, a little bit of updates in this here and forth. Appreciate the views we've gotten. Hit like and subscribe. Hoping we'll get a little more in depth on some of these things as I get my setup completely ready. Until then, I had to do an episode today just because we all know what's coming tonight. It's usually one of the biggest nights of the year is the Raw after WrestleMania coming up in a few hours. WrestleMania this last weekend, and I will admit I had some pretty high hopes. I think a lot of us had higher hopes than what we got out of it. Now, there were some bright spots to it, but I just feel like those bright spots weren't enough to carry the whole weekend and make it what I think a lot of us fans really hoped it would have been. A couple little low points here and there. Pretty sure everybody watched it. I won't go into detail on every little thing, just because some matches were a little left wanting. But there again, a lot of surprises. There were many surprises. I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. Night one, the War Raiders and the New Day, I talked about this last time. I felt like they kind of rushed this one into WrestleMania, and I feel like we maybe should have had the SmackDown tag titles on the line, the WWE tag titles. I think that division has had a little bit more veracity behind it. It's definitely carried the tag division for the WWE as a whole, in my opinion. And I think it's kind of just sad that we got what we got. And I mean, it was a good enough match, but I just felt like it was a Monday Night Raw match. I didn't feel like anything was, that special about it. But that's just me. But New Day coming out with the titles. So I think everybody kind of saw that one coming. That one really wasn't as big a surprise as some of the other stuff that happened. But yeah, New Day, new tag team champions for Monday Night Raw. I'm sure they'll be gloating tonight. Jade Cargill with, I think everybody kind of saw the win coming over Naomi. I hoped that they would kind of drag it out. I didn't really want it to just be a clean finish like it was. I think there should have been something to give it to where, okay, it could keep going. I feel like they've already closed the chapter on that book, so it is what it is. It was a good enough match, but I just felt like if they really wanted a payoff from what all they were putting us through, maybe not such a clean victory. But nonetheless, Jade Cargill in her first WrestleMania solo victory there. You had Jey Uso, which I'm not going in order in the way the matches went. I'm just going off of, what happened. Not in order. Forgive me. Apologize. Jey Uso versus Gunther. The hype was, up and down. It was 50-50 here and there whether or not this was actually going to be a WrestleMania worthy match for a world championship. I felt like Gunther did what he needed to do to not show any of Jay's weaknesses, and I mean that with the utmost respect, but that's part of being a dance partner is you help each other look good. And I feel like Gunther did his job, and Jay, what a crowd reaction. Of course, all the dirt sheets are saying he might possibly be injured. I guess we'll find out here in a few hours on Raw if that's true or not, because I'm sure he's going to come out and celebrate. He's their freaking champion. But, yeah, Jey Uso winning a big one. Proud of him. I hope nothing but success for Jey Uso. I know there's a lot of detractors that think it's the wrong decision, but we don't know the bigger picture. This could be the right decision, so we'll just have to wait and see. We were supposed to get Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano in the storyline we've got going there. Well, unfortunately, the injury bug has struck again. Mr. 619, Rey Mysterio himself, is out again with what apparently is another leg injury. To me, it's not a surprise. I've been watching Rey Mysterio wrestle since 1995, 96, when he was in ECW. To see what that man has done for the business and done to his body, Yeah, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe it's time to just step back a little bit. You're already in the Hall of Fame, so I mean, you don't really have much more to prove. But we did get a replacement, surprising one at that. Not surprising, but surprising. I kind of figured maybe Santos Escobar would kind of weasel his way in or something into that. But then again, he's not a masked luchador. So Rey Fenix gets the call. Gets his first WrestleMania match only weeks after his debut. And I know there may be a lot of, speculation on why they're so quick to do that. Well, it goes to show you the professionalism of not only El Grande Americano / Chad Gable. Almost just said Chad Gable there, might as well. But also the professionalism of Rey Fenix. I mean, what? It happened on SmackDown, so 2 days prior, few days prior, you're injured, and this guy's got to step in. And I thought it was a banger of a match, to quote the great Sheamus. I thought they did a great job last minute, having to change everything. Although it felt like it shouldn't have ended as quick as it did, I was kind of surprised by that. I figured Rey Fenix would have kicked out of that flying headbutt. I know he had the foreign object in the mask, but still, I don't know. It kind of felt like they got rushed on time on that maybe, but maybe I'm wrong. But still a good match. Still got entertained by that one. You've got what appeared to be a shoot work match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. And everybody keeps saying Charlotte Flair looks awkward and nervous every time she's out there now. I don't understand some of these clips I'm seeing with that. She doesn't really look nervous. She looks out of her comfort zone of not being the main attraction anymore. I think Tiffany Stratton is now our new Charlotte Flair, to use, lack of better words to use. She's one of our new main event females, and Charlotte's not. And for some people, it's hard for their ego to take that. For others, it's not. Others, it's quite easy. But Tiffany Stratton pulls it out, holds on to the title, which I'm glad. Not that I'm a huge Tiffy Time fan, but I'm not a fan of hot potatoing, and I'm definitely not a fan of giving Charlotte Flair the belt again, just for no particular reason other than it's WrestleMania and you showed up, and kudos to you. So I'm glad Tiffany Stratton kept the title there. And we get LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. I was excited about this one because I was hoping they'd pull the trigger, and God bless you, Triple H. There's a reason you're in the Hall of Fame now. Thank you for pulling the trigger on that. Not that I'm not a LA Knight fan, but I truly think LA Knight needs more than the mid-card title, because he has shown he has that old school approach about it to where he's better working segments to build, the pay-per-view match rather than being stuck in mixed tags and this and that constantly. LA Knight can carry it by himself, and he's proven that. So they kind of need to push him up because, we need other people besides just Cody and John going for that, and Roman. And I think LA Knight, it's the next logical step. He's already multiple-time U.S. champion. He's not going to be a tag champion anytime soon. So elevating back up to the main event scene. Roman Reigns isn't there to just play God mode anymore. So he has an actual opportunity and a chance now. Has a prayer, as they would say. But it was time to give Fatu some flowers. That dude is a beast. He has been on fire. He has been lit. He has knocked it out of the park week by week. Promo, in-ring work, making others look good, and being believable. And it was the right call. He needed that. So, the Bloodline gets another title, even though they're not really all the Bloodline anymore. But regardless, I thought it was really nice to see that. And then that took us to the main event of night one. Triple threat. Rollins, Punk, and Reigns. Now, if you watched my last video, I think I kind of called this one. I don't know if I called it before anybody else. I feel pretty confident I called that one pretty early on. Pretty much thought that Heyman was going to go with Rollins. To me, it was pretty much a given. Because it's the only thing that really made sense. One, why Rollins was there the whole time. But two, what the favor could have been. that would have made sense, that would have helped Rollins to begin with, but I love the execution of it. Heyman betraying one at a time. Not just both at the same time, but letting one believe I'm betraying him for you and then betray the other one as well. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Don't think we'll hear anything tomorrow about it. I hope so. We'll see. But that was an exciting match. Really great match. It does hurt to see Punk lose his first ever Mania main event. Hopefully he gets there next year again, just so maybe he can get a win. But it made sense to give it to Rollins. It really, truly did. He's the one that needs the momentum going forward, in my opinion. So, great main event to night one. A little bit of a spoiler. I'm going to say night one was probably better than night two. And if those matches didn't get you cooking, then night two's not going to do much better for you. Night two, I mean, you know, they did great with the triple threat for the women's title. I love the fact that Io kept it. I thought it was a good match. That hair whip by Bianca Belair, just by the way it sounds, I think they should outlaw it. It sounds like it hurts like nothing else. I'd rather have Ric Flair chop me than have her whip me with that hair. It sounded like it took the life out of Rhea Ripley. But I love the finishing sequence, going from Bianca's finish straight into Io's moonsault. Looked like poor Rhea took the worst of all that, but great triple threat match. We got the answer. Once again, I'm not going in order, but we did finally get the answer on who was going to face Liv and Raquel. We had found out that it was supposed to be Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but Bayley mysteriously got attacked right before the pay-per-view, well, before night one, and so she was forced to have to find a new partner. Everybody kind of figured it was who it was, and it wound up being the man, Becky Lynch. And in an odd twist, I mean, I don't understand putting the tag titles on them. One's a part-timer most times. The other one's already got a belt. I'm not big on the double champions if it's not needed, and I kind of feel like Liv Morgan and Raquel should have just cheated to win, and then they, you know, maybe the next night, but whatever. I'm not the booker. Triple H, you're the booker. But it was still a good match. New champions crowned there again. Seeing titles change, that's what's always exciting about big time pay-per-views like this. But all around good match. We get our Priest versus Drew in a street fight match. Drew getting the W on this one. I felt he deserved it. They're both doing great work. Great work. They could probably work together forever, and it'd be fun to watch. A lot of people feel like, you know, it was a little bit more than we thought it was going to be because they didn't really pay attention to this feud as much as the other ones. But, you know, it was what it was. And otherwise, good match. Hope the program continues. We get our fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. You know, they say that Seth Rollins had the heist of the century with his Money in the Bank cash-in at WrestleMania. I beg to differ. I think we have the newest heist of the century, and if they're not coining that, I need to trademark it before it winds up on Monday Night Raw. Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship doesn't bother me so much. It's just... Dirty Dom, you dirty little bitch. You are a perfect heel, and we love you for that. You know how to radiate heat, and you don't have any issue with it, and I think creative sees that. You're a very natural heel. Hold on to that because few and far in between anymore. But great match. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn, Dirty Dom all tore it down. Lots of false finishes. I don't mind the title being taken off Braun because, like I've said before, I think Braun Breaker needs to move to the main event scene. I think he has proven, especially with his promo with the Steiner math at the pre-show, which I absolutely loved. He nailed it, absolutely nailed it. I know his Uncle Scott was probably just, if he could, be doing cartwheels. But he's ready for the main event scene. He may not be ready for the title yet, but he needs to move on to bigger and better things. He's already proven he is the badass. He is a big dog, and he needs to go roam the yard free. But I wasn't going to be upset whether it landed on Penta, Finn, or Dom. I felt like Penta, and I'm sorry, not Penta, but I'm sorry, I feel like Finn needed it more than anybody just because of how they've treated his character recently. But I feel like this is probably going to be the program to give us multiple things. One, we're going to get the destruction of the New Day. Two, we're going to get Finn Balor chasing and hopefully winning a championship as he takes away from Dirty Dom. Hoping that's the route they go. We're going to find out. It was a good match. It really was. And Dirty Dom with probably the biggest pop of the entire pay-per-view. And I'm not joking. I think Dirty Dom got the biggest pop. It was loud, unexpected. I know he's got a lot of fans, but I just felt like there's going to be way more people expecting Penta to get it just because the way they've been pushing him. But congrats to Dirty Dom. Whether it's Ray or whether it's Eddie, whichever one's your real dad, both are proud of you, I'm sure. Then we get not really what made me happy in a sense, but how did we wind up Joe Hendry facing Randy Orton at WrestleMania? And I know I've said, keep your mind open, keep an open heart, and, treat everybody the same. But this is motherfucking WrestleMania, okay? This is Randy Orton. And you pull Joe Hendry, okay? Now, I get it. He's a TNA World Champion. What I don't get is you had to know Randy was going to win. You had to know. There's no way Randy was going to make such a big fuss about not having a match, such a big deal about being number 20 for him. He had to have this match. You could have picked anybody to just feed to him. You totally killed a whole promotion's credibility. They're world champion, and I know a lot of people are going to say, but it's WrestleMania, da-da-da. It doesn't matter. He just made their world champion look like an utter bitch. And I get it. It was done out of respect to Randy Orton. But at the end of the day, I think it would have been better if it was just R-Truth. Have him confused on what match is going on. Think he's part of the multi-man ladder match or something. Have him climb up the ladder just to have Randy climb up there with him. Get confused. And then just push him off or something. RKO, whatever the case may be. But Joe Hendry, I don't know. I know I'm going to go out there and be on a limb on my own, but I just think he's overrated. I don't think he had any need to be there, and I think it really killed the credibility of poor TNA, and they're trying to come back for Christ's sake. Well, yeah, Randy Orton, RKO, I don't know. But I do love how he got the RKO, though, with that stupid-ass pose he does when he turns around and then RKO out of nowhere. Loved it. Then we get a match I wasn't excited about because I wish one person in particular would just leave the professional wrestling business. That's you. Yes, you, Mr. Logan Paul. The fact that you got a match at WrestleMania, not only that, you won, and not only that, it was against AJ fucking Styles. This man is a treasure. He is a Shawn Michaels of his generation. He is something special. He is phenomenal for a reason. And I know AJ is a good soldier, and that's a reference to anybody who knows where I'm going with this. AJ is being a good soldier, and I get that. He's providing for his family, and he's creating security. I'm talking to the creative side of this. Why sacrifice someone like AJ Styles to Logan Paul? He's a dumpster fire, human being. Can't stand him. Can't stand the fact that he gets some of these pushes, and there's so many other people like Karrion Kross, who in his hometown doesn't even get a Vegas, WrestleMania moment. Other than AJ telling him no, he's not going to accept his help. Like, he got to be there, I guess. But, quote Karrion Kross, oh, it's great to be here. This is great. This is fun, right? No, it's not, because we're seeing somebody get a spotlight that they do not deserve. Just because you're good at acrobats and you're an athlete and you train 6 months for one match does not make you a professional wrestler, and it does not make you worthy of a WrestleMania match, in my opinion, and definitely not worthy of going over someone as phenomenal as AJ Styles. And to me, it's unheard of, and it just, that one irked me. I was not very happy with that one. There's a lot of stuff that happened on this pay-per-view a lot of people weren't happy with. But Logan Paul gets the win, and I know it's probably going to build to the Karrion Kross AJ, hopefully, program, because I would love to see those two work together. I would just love to see them do some with Karrion Kross. That would be nice. Huge Karrion Kross fan. Bring back Killer Kross. And then we get to our main event, as we call it. It's what they called it. I wouldn't call it a main event unless it was Monday Night Raw, because that's what it felt like to me. Not quite sure how to think about this. To me, it started off in the right, manner. A little bit of back and forth, and it looked like Cody was going to school him on wrestling. And I think us as a wrestling community and as a WWE Universe fans, we kind of got let down on this one. I'm going to be honest. For one, I'm tired of seeing Travis Scott. I don't think he had really any purpose for that. It did nothing for me. I think it did nothing for a lot of fans. And ultimately, just for him to get on the ring apron, jump back down, come in, eat a crossroads. It's like, Cena could have set all that up by himself when the ref was down. He didn't need Travis Scott to take a sweet-ass time. I understand it's a freaking 2-mile ramp. But we don't need you to do your little, pimp saunder on the way down to the ring. Come on, dude. We got stuff to do with your fake hardcore championship that looks like crap. And I don't think he had any place there. And I think everybody was expecting to see The Rock. Everybody was expecting to see something more than what we got. And I understand from a psychological and a storytelling perspective that the reason for that is because John Cena said he's not going to give us what we want anymore, and he's going to take it away from us and strip it down and ruin it. And he did. So he lived up to his word. But it was just, I think they let the fans on to what we thought we were going to get, and we didn't get it. But on top of that, now we have a 17-time World Championship record-holding John Cena title. That title record will probably never be broken now, but I really hoped that they wouldn't do it, at least not yet. I felt like it was just too soon after his heel turn to just slap it on him. I understand he's retiring soon, but they could have waited a couple more pay-per-views, let it really build up. I don't know. But there again, we'll wait. We'll see what they do with this. It is intriguing to see what Triple H and the rest of creative have been doing with this. Patience is a virtue. So hopefully it all comes to fruition. There's, all sorts of theories going around about, the Rock's got a bigger plan that nobody's seeing yet. Maybe we're all going to find out here soon, but I don't know. Poor Cody Rhodes. But I think Cody Rhodes was a little bit more entertaining as a title chaser than a title holder. He's one of those, he doesn't necessarily always have to have the title on him to be entertaining and to be exciting to watch. So I don't think it really hurts Cody per se as much as it could have been. But we'll see. Time will tell. Hopefully we get some of those questions answered here pretty soon. Tonight is Monday Night Raw, so hopefully tomorrow I'll give you a little recap on Monday Night Raw if I have time. I do apologize again. Still trying to get this all set up. I appreciate the few viewers I've gotten. I'm still trying to build a little bit of a fan base here. Really want to get you guys on board. I'm just trying to get a lot of things taken care of so I can get a permanent setup and get it all looking good and everything ready to go. That way I can really get in depth on a lot of this stuff and have good conversations. If not tomorrow, next day after that, I would like to do a nice list I've got going. I'm going to do my top guys that never held the WWF Championship, WWE Championship, whatever you want to call it. Going to go over that one. If I don't see you then, hope everybody has a great evening, great afternoon, great day, whatever the case may be. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please hit a like. Please hit a subscribe. Leave some comments in there if you want to. Anything you want to talk about, want to switch it up, will do. Here for you guys. Appreciate y'all checking in. We'll see you next time.